There is something very dangerous going on that we need to address. I don't know if you've noticed that men and women are drifting farther and farther apart. You have men gathering in their manosphere, it's called manosphere, where they gather and then they speak very negatively about women, fear women, women are this, women are that. And then women gather in their own space also and talk negatively about men. It's like these two genders are not relating well. They are not liking each other. They're not enjoying each other's company. And yet we want to have healthy families. And yet we want to raise healthy children. Something is off. Something is off. So we're going to look at how we can get to have a good relationship with the opposite gender, people of the opposite gender, because it's very important. The truth is, we need to realize that we all live in this one world, all of us, men and women. So we have to learn to live with each other and not just tolerate each other, but to enjoy and to have healthy relationships. So how can we do this? Number one, it is to realize that not every man and not every woman is the same. You're a lady, you've been hurt by men. Guess what? You've been hurt by 1, 2, 3 or some men, not every man. So please be objective. You're a man, you've been heartbroken by women. Some women have used you, dumped you, said some mean things about you. Some women, not every woman. So please, let us not generalize. Let us not stereotype. So that's point number one. Point number two, we need to realize that we are all created in the image of God. Every single one of us is unique. Men and women, we are all loving and beautiful and amazing. We all have that God nature in us to be amazing, to be great. And so respect people, because when you're respecting people, when you treat people well, not only treating that person, you're treating God well. So if you're a man, treat women well. If you're a woman, treat men well. And in doing so, we can be able to respect each other, because the truth is, both men and women need respect. We all deserve respect. We all should be respected. So let us get to respect each other. Point number three, remember, if you're a lady, that a man is also your brother, is also your son, is also your uncle, all of these things. So when you're hating on that gender, you're also hating on your fellow loved ones. And if you're a man, remember that a woman is also your mother, also your sister, also your daughter. So let us realize that when you're hating, when you're speaking so badly about women, when you're saying fear women, what are you saying? Are you also saying fear your mother, fear your sister, fear your daughter, fear every single woman? Or will you be specific in addressing that? So point number three. Point number four, please avoid amplifying these negative stereotypes. Avoid amplifying these negative notions and thoughts about the opposite gender. Don't flood your wall, don't flood your post, don't flood your conversations with negative content, or perhaps participate in an environment where there is gender bashing, where women are bashing men, men are bashing women. Avoid such. Stop amplifying this thing, because the truth is, there are so many men behaving well, but you don't hear about them. Why? Because we amplify the negative. There are so many women behaving well. They are amazing mothers, amazing sisters, amazing daughters. We don't hear so much about them. Why? Because we're amplifying the ones who behave perhaps not so pleasant. And there are not so many. By the way, majority of people are actually good. And so let us not participate in amplifying these negative notions. And that comes to now point number five. Point number five. Why don't you be able to single out the people who are not treating you well? Single them out and be specific. Person A, person B is not such a good person. Not all men or women. Single out the people who are not behaving well. And you just put your boundary, you put your wall between you and them, so that you don't get hurt by them. And so it is important for you to identify them so that you avoid them. But even as you avoid the ones who are behaving badly, please do not ignore the ones who are behaving well, because it is unfair that the people out there who are praying to be amazing, praying to be great, praying to improve and to be better, but we don't give them a chance, we don't recognize them, we don't hear them out, simply because, we are focusing on the wrong ones, we are focusing on negativity. Coming now to point number 6, interrogate the culture that you follow. Are you involving yourself in a culture that perhaps is bashing the other gender? Is the culture that you're embracing? Because remember that culture is man-made. Interrogate your culture. If the culture that you have is putting down women or putting down men, interrogate that. Because of what use is it to lift yourself up and bash the other person? What are you gaining? Point number 7, avoid gender bashing phrases such as what a man can do, a woman can do better. Women are so foolish, incapable of so XYZ. Stop talking about that, because if you're a man, I am sure you wouldn't tell your daughter women are incapable of XYZ. You wouldn't tell her that. And it's almost certain that if you are a mother and you have a son, you'll not be telling your son what you can do, a woman can do better. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? Some of these phrases, we say them so casually. We don't pay attention to how negative they are, how bashing they are, how they're not even helping in building a better society. They're not helping at all. Point number 8, have non-sexual bonds with people of the opposite gender. The unfortunate thing is that we have romanticized almost every single relationship with the opposite gender. That if a man and a woman are talking with each other, it has to be something sexual, sensual, or romantic. It doesn't have to be like that. Why can't we get to a place whereby a man and a woman can interact even on a friendship level, or on a level that, we are building a vision together. We are building a vision together. Maybe perhaps we are business partners, or we are XYZ, where there's a goal that we're aiming at, because we need to remember that the opposite gender is offering more than sex, offering more than pleasure. The opposite gender can offer so much, a different perspective, a different way of looking at things. Very, 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 very important. And now point number 9. Point number 9. Have you taken time to pray for the opposite gender? Have you taken time to ever pray? This negativity that you have about the opposite gender, have you ever taken time to pray? You know what? God, I pray for that woman. Whatever it is that she's going through, please walk with her and bless her. God, I pray for that man. And maybe perhaps that man is your husband. Maybe that woman is your wife. Have you taken time to pray for the opposite gender? Because the truth is, the people that we pray for, the person that we pray for, we often tend to show empathy towards them, compassion towards them, thoughtfulness towards them. So the more you pray for the opposite gender, the more you'll be able to realize that, okay, I need to relate better with this person. And then point number 10, why don't you ask the opposite gender about their worldview? When a woman is sharing her worldview, as a man, don't be over there trying to tell her how wrong it is and all these things and counter. Hear her, because she's the best placed person to tell you how to treat her, how to love her, how to honor her. Similarly, when a man is sharing with you as a woman how he wants to be treated, what is important to him, what makes him tick, what excites him, pay attention. Let's give each other that space to share what we have, because men and women, we are amazingly unique, amazingly different. We look different, perhaps even sociologically we are different. We have got all this uniqueness, and then on top of that we've got the uniqueness of the individual. Forget even about gender. So imagine if you pay attention to that. Imagine if you start to see each other more than sex or gender, and more than male or female, and start to look at each other as a human being. And then lastly, point number 11, follow the most important commandment of love, the most important rule of life. Do to others as you'd want them to do to you. If you're a man, please do not do to a woman what you wouldn't want her to do to you. If you're a woman, please do not do to a man what you wouldn't want him to do to you. Let us not hurt each other because you wouldn't like to be hurt. And if anyone of the opposite gender has ever hurt you, I am sorry. I am sorry that they hurt you. I am sorry that they did wrong to you. I'm sorry they used you. I'm sorry that they dumped you. I'm sorry that they lied to you. I'm sorry that they broke your heart. I'm sorry that they abandoned you. They rejected you. They slandered you. They spread rumors about you. I am sorry. But I want you to know this. They do not represent all that pertains to that gender. Let us learn to treat people as individuals, uniquely as their own. And I wish you the best in life.
This is Grown TV.